Hey, Kaylin, how are you, sweetheart? Just getting myself set up here. Okay, it's been a crazy morning. Um, we had another tornado. Hey, how are you? How's it going, Judy? Hey, Miss Sheila, how are you? We had another tornado. This one came really close. Like the sirens were going off like crazy. Kids are at school, or yeah, they're just starting that. Ours, I think it's tomorrow they have orientation. It's so nice I don't have to worry about that. But it messes up traffic so bad because I have a school 2 blocks on that side, and then the middle school is like 4 blocks that way. Yeah, we're okay. I think we've heard from everyone now. I know I've spoken with John and Amber, and Cassie's with Amber, so of course Cassie's okay. Um, John, they had lost power because it's like, let's see, we live in Romeoville, then there's Plainfield, then there's Oswego. John lives in Oswego. Plainfield's like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes apart. So, and Amber works in Plainfield. So we were all, in the same path. And as it was cleaning, John lost power, but other than that, they were all good. Um, Wayne got it bad by then. I guess Joliet's out of power. He's on the other, works in Shanahan, which is like just the other side of Joliet. Again, all 15 to 20 minutes range from any one spot. So I think the only one, and I don't know if Nikki's heard from him, the only one we hadn't heard from was Nikki's boyfriend because he works out in, uh, is he in more? No, I don't remember what town he's in, where he works, not where he lives. Something in my eye. So yeah, so it was bad. We had the tree at the end of the block. It's about 5 houses down, split in half, just came right down. The tree at the corner on this side, which is about 5 or 6, we're like right in the middle of the block. That one broke. The main street over, which is one street over, because like we're like on this side of the street, there's a house on this side of the street, and right on the other side is like the post office. So all that main street, all of that, there were trees down all over the place there. Our little tree in our backyard is still standing. That tree always makes me nervous. And then the neighbor's tree makes me nervous because that's hanging over our house too. But yeah, it was bad for a little bit. I mean, when you can see the rain just actually like blowing and it got so dark. But it didn't last for long, and we are grateful for that. I guess now it's hitting Indiana and maybe into Michigan. I don't know. Um, but according to our weather thing, um, we're good for the rest of the night. We get again tomorrow, we have rain. Um, yeah, tomorrow they say it's supposed to rain, but I don't know how bad. But yeah, it was funny because it was really hot. It was like in the upper 80s and then it dropped down to like 66. And now it's slowly going back up. We're already up to 77 again. So it was not fun. Nikki and we literally, this is the first time I actually think, because we get tornado warnings all the time. I've lived in this area my whole life. I've witnessed tornadoes. I've actually driven where tornadoes are, so they don't usually get me frazzled. This time I actually made Nikki get in the bathroom with the dogs. Let's go in there because we have no room that doesn't have an outside wall. So I'm like, we'll go in the bathroom. It's the back of the house between two things. I said the way the rain's coming, it's coming from the other side. So get in there. Um, but yeah, it was maybe 15 minutes we had to wait it out, and it wasn't as bad. Like I said, the trees down everywhere always make me nervous. because we do have a tree in our backyard that is questionable at best. Hey, you got power? I know they were without power in some areas. Like I said, John had lost power, but he got his power back right away. So, all right, we're gonna get started again. I'm gonna be doing pieces that almost everything has doubles. There are a few pieces that don't, but I will let you know which ones those are. Um, if you guys could share it out, as always, that's greatly appreciated. You guys try and stay safe with this weird weather. How you doing today, Miss Tammy? Now, I've been watching this whole thing with the what is it, the hurricane or tropical storm that now is a hurricane, they say, but that's not expected to make landfall in the US, right? That's expected to turn back into the ocean because I'm supposed to go down to Florida and I want to make sure that Florida is still there. I don't want to, that makes me nervous, always these weird weathers. Hey, Miss Marietta, how are you? All right. All right. So all of these $5 pieces that we're going to do have duplicates. Hey, Krista, how are you? Um, I hope you are being safe where you're at. Did the weather pass already by you? Or are you stuck in it now? By now, it should have passed by you. It should be farther, I would think. It's nice, shiny, and sunny today. Nice. Yeah, that's what I want when I come down because, I'm hoping to maybe actually see sun. No, okay. Where are you doing that at? Well, you could tell me all about that when you get home. Um, we had it real bad at between 11 and 12. We got it really bad. Hey, Linda, that I actually made Nikki go in the one room with the dogs. I was with her. I mean, I'm not stupid. I did go in there with her. Because it got really nasty and scary. And like I said, down the block on either end, both trees broken, and then of course little branches all over the place. The main road had, and all you heard for the next hour was the sirens going off back and forth because of stuff going down. But literally, I went outside I ran to the gas station to get something, and they already had hey, Kathy, they already had um the ones that do the trees, the ones that, what do they call it? Okay, I can't think of the word because my brain's not working. But when they grind up the trees and make mulch out of it, the mulchers, I guess is what they're called. They already had those out. So they were cleaning up like instantaneously. Yep, that's how it was by us. It got really, real. I was like, man, it's perfect sleeping weather. It's so nice and dark, and I love the rain at night. But we're all good, so that's all that matters. So, all right, guys, let's get some work done. Let's have some fun while we can. I don't know if we're going to get hit with another storm because this one was not expected to be. It was just one of those weird weather things. It's really weird because there's nothing like you getting hit with the storm and then right after that I think it was on, I don't know if we got him already once this morning, so I don't know. It was green. It was like a weird color. Are you coming here, John, or are you just going home and going straight to work? It was a weird color out there. But now, like I said, it's clear. We just don't know if we're going to get any more. Jessica, Jessica L. Jessica Lang and Linda H have birthdays today. I don't think either of them on, but if you are, happy birthday, guys. Hey, Crystal. Yes. That wasn't a yes or no question. It's yes, I'm coming, or yes, I'm going straight to work. Kind of clarify that for me, kiddo. All right, we're going to get started here. You know what I need? My husband yells at me because I have so many of the, I just have them thrown everywhere. I really need to throw all the old ones away because my markers are no good. Oh my God, he learned how to put the flowers on. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, then I'll see you in a little bit. All right. This is 526037. Okay. This is going to be our first one up. We do have two of this little guy. This is our Prince of a Guy. This is the first year of production. Original cost in this was 35. Current value on this is 44. We have two. And that is our A Prince of a Guy, 526037. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of the day holds for us because it's always a surprise. All right. Now there's two versions of this. There's the one that I have here, which is just the figurine, and then there's the one that comes in a set. And 99% of the time, the little set one doesn't have the crystal little thing that goes with it. Okay. This one is considered the early release one. Not that that makes a difference, although this one is valued a little bit more than the other one is. And that's our little Prince of a Guy. Put these over here so they're not in the way. Okay. Now this one I have two of the boy and two of the girl. I don't think I put the girl on the table though. Let me get the different one because this one is brand new pack. Look. That's packed brand new. Let me see if I can get the other one because I know where it's at. There we go. Crying out loud, this one's just the same. All right. I'll have to take one of these two out because they're the same. This is our Surrounded with Joy. E0506. Okay. Yeah, this one's been out once before. It's not wrapped quite as nicely. Now, this is the boy version. Okay. The girl is the chapel exclusive one. Again, I have two of her too. Original cost in this was $21. Current value on this one is 78. They go up to 88. And this is our Surrounded with Joy, E0506. And I have at least two of this one. I might actually have three. Goodness, got something in my eye. And that is Surrounded with Joy. Okay. Again, still doing the 10%. And again, shipping is $1 per piece. Okay. So nice nice when they're in their boxes completely. Okay. Now this piece I do not have two of, I only have one of. Okay. Alright. This one is Companionship Happens in Our Club. 635286. Okay. This is a members only commemorative piece. This was for the 20-year membership, Precious Moments Club membership. Okay. Original cost in this is $60. This one is valued at $120. They go as high as $130. Okay. We do it for $25. This one is 635286. Companionship Happens in Our Club. And that is 635286. Okay. Lydia and Melanie, you are getting our last piece, our Surrounded with Joy, the little boy. You are so welcome. Now I have this piece, and I'm gonna, certain pieces I don't like to just throw away if something's up with them. And this piece is not a cheap piece. And this one is, again, one I only have one of. But it's got the butterfly is broken off. So it should have a butterfly right on top of this turtle. And that is missing. Okay, this is PM002. Okay. Oh, it's this one. This is our Collecting Friends Along the Way. This is $100 piece, still valued at $115. We're gonna do it for $20. It's missing the butterfly. Okay. So if anybody's interested in it, but I am gonna put on there that it is damaged or missing butterfly. Okay. Let's see if anybody wants that one. It's a cute piece. And like I said, it's valued at $115, but it is missing that butterfly. So, normally pieces like that, it's, what do I do? Throw it away? At least I can sell it at something if somebody wants it. Otherwise, yeah, it's... All right. Let me get a bag for our last one. We have Lydia and Miss Tammy. Tammy. Okay. Okay. Gotta make sure I put the right Tammy on there. Let me put this back. All right, next one up. Again, You need Wayne? Well, he might have gone back to work. He's got an hour left still before he's off. This is one I do have two of. Oh, this is 529273. Okay. This is my true love gave to me. All right. Original cost in this is 40. Current value on this is 53. We're going to do it for 5. This is 529273. And Lydia, you did get that last piece. Our collecting friends along the way with the missing butterfly. This is 529273. That is my true love gave to me. We do have 2 of these. And that is the little girl sitting there with her present with a partridge in a pear tree. Kind of a bird sitting on top of a tree with a pear on its head. Original cost in this was $40. This one is what production? This is the first year production, so the value is 53. Okay. This is one of our calendar girls. This one is January 109,983. These are all valued somewhere around $70. I always do them for 5 because I get them so much. Okay. That one is January. Kaylin, I'm looking to see if I can find July. You're the one who needed July, right? It was you. Somebody asked me to find July. I'm looking. It's just I got lots of boxes to go through. Okay. That one is January. All right. Our last one did go to Miss Lydia and to Miss Kaylin. Okay. I'm making sure I have the right thing. January goes behind me. Those are just putting behind me because it's the last one you needed. I will keep looking. I did find the other ones from yesterday. That's why I sent you a bill on them. This one is yeah, I know I did July one day last week. So all right, this one. This is our little bowling piece. I keep trying to sell this. It keeps coming back to me. And I have 2 or 3 of these. I might actually have 3, but I know I got 2 for sure. This is 521191. Lord spare me. Original cost in this was $37.50, currently valued at $52. Normally I do it for 15. Because they seem to keep coming back to me. I'm doing it for 10. This is 521191. Like I said, I have at least 2 of these. I might actually have 3. And that is Lord spare me. Okay. This is the original production mark. Current value is 52. Originally $37.50. This is our Lord Help Me Make the Grade 106216. Okay. This is one of our little clown ones. This is our original cost on this was $25. This is the first year of production. Current value is $63. This is our Lord Help Me Make the Grade. It is 106216. And this one is, we of course have it for $5. Okay. Sally, welcome to the group. Hey, Miss Deb P, how are you, sweetheart? Go on this side. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna move these pieces and get some other ones from the side here. My table is filled, so I'm trying to grab from both sides. I'm gonna put these in the okay. Next one up. This is Faith is a Victory. This is one of our frequent buyer program ones. This is the big one. You had to have, I think it was 800 points. I don't remember how many points you got per dollar. 283592. Okay. This one is our Faith is a Victory. So this is the one where she's standing by the seal, or with the seal. Same as you, honey. We're hanging in there. All right. This was given to you. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. This is level 3. So you'd get this if you earned 1,000 points in purchases. All right. The current value on this is $135. This is a limited edition, so it was only the 1 year. It was 1997 that they did these, okay? So there are 2 production marks because it went throughout the year. So the first ones, these would actually have been produced in 96 to be at the stores in 97. And then the ones that were actually produced in 97 for the second half of the year had the eyeglass production mark. This is valued at 135. We have it for 10. It is 283592. Miss Deb P and Sally, you guys got the last one, so congratulations. Sally, all I need from you is an email for billing. So we can make sure we have that one. Hey, Miss Marilyn. This is 283592. Yeah, I don't remember. Did this used to be $1 a point? God, I got a killer headache. I don't remember if you got $1 a point or, depending on how much you spent. I know that's how the points were earned. I should say a point $1. I don't know how it worked. Okay, this one is Faith is a Victory. Okay. right, next one up. You know what? I'd appreciate it if you message it. Thank you. Yeah, that would work the best because I don't like people putting their email out here because if other people watch these feeds, they get your email. You are fine. You know how it works, obviously, how to put the comments in, but just so you know how I um do billing, everything is billed through PayPal or Square. If you do not have a PayPal account, then bill through Square. You don't need an account. You just put in however you're paying. It's much easier. I only charge $1 per piece for shipping based on I do so many feeds that I'm adding to boxes all the time and I ship once a week. So when your box is filled, okay? Now obviously it fluctuates based on the size of the pieces we're showing. That I've had people where one piece has been in their box, but that's how I do it. The other thing, what else do I have to say? Oh, right now we're doing 10% discount. 10% discount works as long as today's invoice is paid by 12 o'clock tomorrow. So this way you get a discount and I get money constantly working here to help get us our shipping and all of our supplies and all that fun stuff. All right, this is Lord Speak to Me. This is 531987. And it's a little girl sitting in front of the radio, and she's got her Bible there. I remember when I was a kid sitting with my grandmother, listening to the church. And then I remember when she was older, the priest would come to her house to give her communion and take confession. But yeah, I remember that as a kid. Now, of course, I totally just aged myself. No problem, dear. Thank you. All right, this one is the first year production. The original cost in this is 45. It's currently valued at 53. Yes, everything I'm showing currently has boxes. All of the duplicates on these that I have found have boxes except maybe two. Yeah, I remember. Well, my great aunt was like my grandmother's oldest sister. I think it was her half sister though. Was like 20 years older than her and blind. And so they all lived to be in their hundreds. I mean, they were not like, you know, so I remember she was super old. I do remember that as a kid because I used to be over there all the time. Um, for a while we had lived in the same apartment building because it was a house, but they had like two apartments in front and two apartments in back. And one grandmother lived on the top floor and back, one grandmother lived on the bottom floor and back, and we had lived on the top floor in front. Not to say that that was fun, because grandmothers didn't always get along. This one is Lord Speak to Me. 531987. Current value on this one is $53. We have it for 10. Yeah, this one is one of those that totally reminds me of my grandmother. All right. Miss who came in for the last one? Wait a minute. Miss Marilyn and Miss Marlene. You guys both are gonna get this one. Oh. A boo boo. Oh wait, I know what I did. Oh, the I have to mark these a certain way for my daughter. Okay. This one I do have two of, not four, two. Yeah, that's one like I told my husband, although it's a simple and plain cute little piece, I really like it because it reminds me of my grandma. Can't Can't go wrong reminding me of your grandma. We had one grandmother. Now, both of my grandfathers I didn't know growing up. One had passed, my dad's dad had passed when he was 10 years old. So my mother's dad, I didn't know him until later in life because he had lived in California, so on. But both grandmas were always around. And, oops, wrong piece. But we had, like I said, both grandmas were always there. But one grandma was always like, did everything with us. The other one was a bit older, but we used to have, like Sunday dinner with her, and, I'd go over to her house during the day. I remember her favorite soap opera was As the World Turns. So when As the World Turned was on, you were on your best behavior because that was her time. And I mean, the silly things you remember. Remember her sitting there doing her, I'm trying to get the box to fix. Sitting there with her rosary every day in her prayer book. But yeah, it was like, okay, everything had to be done for when As the World Turned comes on. And Guiding Light, I think, was on. And she used to watch, they were CBS soap operas. But weird things you remember. Okay, next one up. This does have a little box. That's what I was fixing. This is really cute. This is and I only have one. This is the little penguins in the snow globe. This is resin. Okay. This is 775355. Now, this one, when it came out, was like, the little banner says Merry Christmas, because I don't think you can see it there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Weird things like that. I used to love going to their house because they had, this piece when it came out was like 30 some dollars, believe it or not. We have it for 15 today. That is our little penguins in the snow globe. Okay. And okay. I used to love going there because they had the big stove. The heater was in the center, and it was like the kitchen and then the living room, and they had the big heater in there. So, and it was like, it had the grates on top. So we used to make like sugar bread or cheese bread or whatever was in the house bread. It's what you made. So going there, I'm looking for my bag. After school was always good for a snack. All right, Crystal, Maryland, and Beth. Marilyn, you can bid twice, but you only go in once. Crystal, Marilyn, Kate, and Beth. Okay, we are picking two. This is for Lord Spare Me. One is going to Miss Crystal, and one is going to Miss Marilyn. Kaylin, I will check. I do have a box here for you, so I'll have to check in it. Okay. I don't, didn't know for sure, but I will check on it. Just give me a chance. It may take me a day or so just because tomorrow Nikki and I are going to be wrapping and boxing a lot of stuff. So hopefully, all right, we'll do, this is, anybody wants this at 10. I can't go any lower than 10, but that is our little girl with the little igloo water globe. No problem, honey. I will check. There was more pain than anything getting that box fixed. Okay. All right. I'm not going any lower than 10, so that one's going to go behind me then. All right, next one up. Oh. Let me put that here. Hey, Miss Michelle, how are you, sweetheart? I found your missing Salvation Army piece. Well, unfortunately, Michelle came in first, and I changed the price, so it always goes to the first person. So it's going to Miss Michelle C. Okay. Greg, how are you? We haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe from the storms that hit earlier. All right. Our next one up is E2801. This one I only have one of also. Okay. This is our Jesus is Born. Okay. The original cost of this is $37.50. This one is no mark. Okay. The value on this one is $157. Last retailed at $55. This is our Jesus is Born. I'm just reading that there's no errors or anything. This was only up for like 4 years. But a lot of people thought that this was an expensive piece at $37.50. Oh yeah, we had the tornado whistles and bells going off all over the place. I don't know if one touched down here today. Definitely a lot of tree damage. Okay. All right, this is our Jesus is Born. Now this one has no production mark and no number under it. Okay, this is the very first year, and that is valued at $157. This is E2801. Okay. All right. All right, let me put these in the box over here. I have an empty box for done and so I can put these in and they're out of the way of getting knocked out. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to move some pieces into grabbing range. Okay. Oh. Okay, our next one up. This is Bear Ye One Another's Burdens, E5200. All right. This is our little one with his teddy bear. They're both crying. He got an owie. Original cost in this is $20. This one is valued at $41. The one with no mark is valued at $40. The highest it goes up to is 51. Okay. We've got it for 5. We do have 2. This is Bear Ye One Another's Burdens, E5200. Lydia, you did get that last one. Okay. And that one is Bear Ye One Another's Burdens. Okay. Yeah, I'm not putting that back on. I'll put fresh bubble wrap because it's okay. All right. Next. This one I have 2, and they're right on top of each other. Did I sell? Yes, all of the Sugartown sets went. Now, having said that, I'm supposed to be picking up more. It's just when I get a chance to get there. Angela, hon, I was gonna message you. I figured out how much I owe you for that one broken piece, and I didn't know if you wanted to do it as a credit or if you want a refund, but just let me know. This one is Rejoicing with You, E4724. E-4724. Okay. This is one of our little christening ones. All right. Original cost in this was $25, currently valued at $55. We do it for 5. And I have at least 2 of these. Okay. Check your thing here because on some of them Bible is spelled wrong. And if it's spelled wrong, you add $25 to the value. This one is fine. Let's check this one. I have like 6 of these. I just don't know where they're all at. So. Okay. Yep, that one's spelled right too. All right, hon. All right. This is our E4724. Okay. And again, these are all valued at $55. Doesn't matter what year you have. That is Rejoicing with You. Put these 2 together. Okay, Angela and Lydia, you did get the last one. Okay. Hey, Miss Laura, how are you? All right. This one I only have 1 of. This is our lovingcaringsharing.com. 679860. Whoa. Okay. This is lovingcaringsharing.com. Original cost was $35. This one is the first year valued at 47. We do it for 10. 679860. No AC. Ugh. Well, we already had who got 987. Hang on one second. We already had the tornado go through. So it's calmed down here and quiet, at least for now. So we'll see what happened. 987 went to Crystal and Maryland. Okay. This is our lovingcarengsharing.com. This is a first year production. It is valued at $47. Okay. Our last one did go to Laura and Lydia. I just whacked myself in the face with the paper. This one I only have one of. And also, before I forget, I offered bonus bucks yesterday. I always do it 2 days in a row in case people are on one day and not the other. So if anybody's interested in bonus bucks, let me know. All right, this one is Sweet is the Voice of My Sister. 640033. Okay. The band is broken, but it does have its box and its styrofoam. All right, this is a $60 piece. Current value on this is 65. Hi, hon, how are you? Good. What's wrong?
Your daughter wants cards if you have any for her.
Oh, yeah. Melanie, you did get that last one.
I'm also leaving soon because it's already after 3.
Okay. Now, what time do you start tomorrow?
2:30. Oh, 1:30.
1:30. Okay, then I'll call you in the morning. Go see your sister. Thank you. This one is 640033. And this was only out for 3 years. $65 across the board. This one is the second production, still valued at 65. And we have this one at 20. Sweet is the Voice of My Sister. 640033. Okay. And that one has one of those fancy boxes with the little silk thing. I gotta fix this though. Let me get a piece of tape because otherwise I'll end up losing the band on it. So let me find my tape gun. See if I can. Tape gun. I was just using you earlier. Where the hell's that? You know, I think I'd lose my head if it wasn't connected. Okay. I never put it in the same spot twice. Keeps life fun trying to figure out where it's at. Okay. All right. Fix that, so that's good. Let's put you in box. Ouch. All right, next one up. Now that one I do only have one of. Okay. This is our the fruit of the spirit is love. This is 521213. Okay. Original cost in this is 30. This is currently valued, this first year production is valued at 52. We of course have it for 5. 521213. Okay, and that is the fruit of the spirit is love. All right, we are picking for the sisters piece. I have Lydia and Miss Melanie. Did we just show this yesterday? I might have just shown that yesterday. Okay. This is our sister's piece, and that is going to Lydia. See, you don't need Wayne. 213 is hang on. 213 is $5. Let me mark this down so I don't get confused. Yes, I will happily explain how the bonus bucks work. Bonus bucks work like this. I do them in increments of 100. I will do them in 50 if you want. So, you purchase $100 in bonus bucks, you get $125 in credit. You say to yourself, you do not have to use it all at one time. You can spread it a $5 piece here, $5 piece there, doesn't matter. If I do 10% discount, you purchase a $5 piece, you have bonus bucks, you're still getting it at the $4.50 instead of $5. I just have to put it in the system differently. You get the 10% discount. It applies towards shipping. If I post something online, which I really want to do is post some of these things that don't sell, but if I post those online and you purchase on a post and you have bonus bucks, it applies towards that. That's pretty much how it works. I usually do it once a month, or if I hit below a certain number, so I don't want to have, $5,000 in bonus bucks outstanding, and then I owe people because it's at some point they're like, hey, I have these bonus bucks, but I decided I'm not buying anymore. Can I get a refund on these? I don't want to owe people. Now, say you do buy $125 in bonus bucks, and then you're like, you spend, and you have so much left, and you're like, hey, is there a way I can get a refund in these? You get a refund based on what you have left. So, in other words, if you have $125 and you spend half of it, so you have $62.50 left, you get a $50 refund. You don't get the $62.50. We have to, adjust for what the actual bonus bucks were. Okay, but that I don't wait. Like somebody said, well, why wouldn't you just give them the refund, take out the $25 credit? No, I work it as every time you use any, it's automatically taken from that credit too. So if you say, hey, I have this much left, can I get a refund? You will get a refund based on what percentage has been spent. I try and make it as fair as I possibly can. But that's how they work. So it's literally you spend the $100, you get an extra $25 to blow. Which when you're doing $5 pieces, that's 5 pieces. So yeah, that's how it works. Now you had 213. That was the last one I did. So that's this one. All right, that is going. Um, yeah, I will check on that because some people I had started billing, but then I was like, I think I need. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? I think I need to wait on this one. So I'm waiting to see because I had to give her a deposit. Okay, you got it, honey. Yeah, you just want one bonus bucket, 100. Now, it will start with tomorrow's invoice because obviously you have to pay for them before I start giving you credit. So anything you buy today, okay? Um, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah, some people were, but like I said, I had to hey, sweetheart, where are you off to? You're on the Ohio Turnpike. I had to put down a deposit from her. Now, I gave her till the end of August because if I don't hear from her by then, I don't want to lose my deposit. You only have so long. Okay. Um, yeah, a lot of people I did wait. It wasn't everybody. I did, some of them because I had to pay a deposit. And I don't, as much as people think so, I don't readily have cash just sitting around available. Matter of fact, I have to make a certain amount today just to cover rent. That's how it works. I have to make so much every day just to cover shipping, just to cover this one. The marching band, yeah. Yeah, but not everybody. I did not bill everybody. And I know who was billed and who's not was billed because I have records of it. So I just don't, I'm not pulling it up today. Okay. All right. So I mentioned the bonus bucks. That's where we left off. So if anybody else was interested, please let me know. Okay. Yeah, sometimes how you just get a weird feeling. That was one of them that I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna take a breather and see. I don't billing enough just to cover my deposit because they require a certain amount down when you do these, and that's so that we're locked in and say, hey, these are mine. Shipping does kill me, and shipping keeps going up. The bad thing with shipping is this, okay? Um, All right, Miss Deb, thank you very much. The bad thing with shipping is this. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we have 2 pickups this weekend. If we get to them, because
If we get to that.
bye, hon, love you. Have a good day at work and do not expect me to bring you food tonight. It's not happening.
Okay, is there anything about drinks?
Love you. He's such a comedian, that one. Comedian.
Do you have any water bottles before I go?
No, we ran out of water yesterday. I have to go to the store. Sorry. Um, Here's the thing with shipping, and this has happened more than I would love to admit. I use the exact same size boxes and have been for months. Now I shipped 42 boxes. Out of the 42 boxes that have shipped and were delivered, 5 of them came back that they recharged me because they said they're the wrong box size. Why are 5 of them different? They're the exact same boxes. But if I complain, they're going to start flagging every single one of my boxes. So when they come back, sometimes it's nothing. It's $1.08, $1.18. One time they tried to do $38 difference charge, and they don't come to me. They just take it right out of PayPal. Well, that's a shipping charge, and you get no reason why. You get no notification. I just know based on people I've talked to, how it works, and that has become a real issue because I have no control over it. So I'm paying already. The boxes that were costing me 6 months ago 15, then they went up to 17, like 72. Now they're up to 21.38. I'm paying 21.38, and then at any moment they can say, "Oh yeah, no, you're wrong, and we're adding, we're taking this much more." They never give me back money. It's always they're taking more. If I put in the wrong weight and I put in a weight over the amount, they're fine. But if I put in 8 pounds and they say it's 8 pounds 2 ounces, which swings it up to 9 pounds, they'll charge me for that. So shipping and I have a very good scale, and I know how the boxes dimensions work as far as inside and out and how they're measured. I've been dealing with shipping my whole life. Everywhere I worked, I've done shipping. I worked at a company that sold veneers for like wood cabinetry and stuff. I did all the shipping. I worked at a mailing service. I was doing the shipping. I've been doing shipping my whole life. So I know, the ins and outs of it. It's just because they do it. Yeah, we reweighed it or we did the, and I know they didn't. I'm like, yeah, right, okay. All right, now this one I have two of. This is Blow Me Down, It's Your Birthday. I have to say one more thing on bonus bucks so everybody is aware. You don't get a 10% discount on bonus bucks. So if it's $100, it's $100. You're not getting it at 90 because you're already getting a $25, you know, as the credit. So it's only that's how it works. All right, this one is our Blow Me Down, It's Your Birthday. 325538. Yeah, when I first started shipping Margarita to California, because she's one of the farthest that I do. When I first started shipping her boxes averaged around 17.72. The last box I sent her was 24 some odd cents. Okay. So that's how much they've gone on. The margarita's only been with me since like the beginning of the year. It's not like it's been, forever or for years and years that I'm talking about. This literally is the last, 6 months, 7 months. Because we're in 8, yeah. So yeah, and that's how it works. So it's hard to do shipping. I told you last week we did 42 boxes and it came to over $800. So people are like, oh, charge per box. I never know what it's going to be when, until I'm ready to ship. So if I charge per piece, at least I'm getting close to. That is, right, sweetheart? How are you? All right, this next one up is Let Freedom Ring. All right, I have a quick question for you guys because this, I have a lot of things that are coming up this week. As far as, people I have to take care of and, stuff that normal business stuff. Would you prefer I do like a long continuous feed or I post it on Facebook? Because Nikki and I are going to try our best to do all the boxing and wrapping tomorrow. And I'm trying to figure out what is the smartest move. Because if I'm on a feed, I can't do boxing and wrapping. But if we're posting, that's taking a lot of pictures and so on and so forth. All right, this is Let Freedom Ring. This one is the original, or this one is no, this is not the early release. Okay. There was a first edition early release on this one. This originally was 45, currently valued at 50. It is a limited edition piece. Okay. And we have it for $10. So, what I'm saying is because if I do a long feed, it's basically me just showing piece after piece after piece. And so much of what I have is $5 pieces. And as much as I want to say, hey, I will do, boxes based on this price, with the shipping charges, I literally can't do that. Because if I do pieces at, say, $2 a piece, um, by the time you add in shipping and you get 50 pieces, okay, that's $50, but it's probably going to cost me, if I'm shipping to somebody like Lydia in Florida, 50 pieces is easily going to cost me $60 to $70 to ship, maybe more. So I can't do that because a lot of these pieces I paid more than that. All right, that's our left freedom ring. I only have one of this. No, I have two of this one. I don't have, which one is it? I have one of. Oh, it's that one over there. Okay. That is 059. We are picking for our, what was it? Well, blow me down, it's your birthday. We got Kaylin, Beth, Laura, Margarita, and Miss Lydia. Yeah. All right, Kaylin, where the hell is your stick? Here it is. Yeah. Laura, Margarita, and Lydia. Okay. All right. This is for our Will Blow Me Down, it's your birthday. We have one is going to Laura, and one is going to Margarita. Thank you guys. What is this one? Okay. All right, our Let Freedom ring. First one in. That's Let Freedom ring. Current value is $50. That is 059. Okay. And that is going to Miss Margarita. Okay. Okay. All right, let me slide these pieces around the table. You know, guys, I have to go pee. I will be right back. I can't hold it anymore. I'm back. All right. All right. Next. All right. All right. This one I only have one of two. That's the bride. We've done this before. We do it for $10 or $15. I gotta check now. I think we do it for 10. But I had several of these. This one is our blonde bride. She is 172061. That is the light skin blonde. And I'm pretty sure I do it for 10. But I only have one left. That is her. Okay. She's like a $50 or $60 piece, I thought. Let's check. 172061. You know, it's funny because when I was a retailer for Precious Moments, they were always like, why do you never, oh, she was $36. Yeah, we do it for 10. They're like, why do you never buy like a bunch of the wedding stuff? I'm like, because it doesn't sell. And that was their biggest thing selling was the wedding and the like christening stuff. And I'm like, nope, that's the stuff that just does not sell for me. Okay. Alright. We had nobody on our, we're all caught up, so let's, so nobody answered me. I need an opinion. Because if I ask my husband, I know where he'll go. But do you guys think I should do like a marathon feed? We've only done that once or twice before where we literally came on in the morning and stayed on till like the middle of the night. We never made it 24 hours. But that was fun because we would switch out. Like Nikki did some on screen, John did some on screen, Wayne did some on screen. It was like, you think a long feed? It would be a super long feed. All right, this is our God Loves a Happy Camper. 587893. One of the things that I'm supposed to be picking up is at least the full van full. And you know, that's why I'm like, I gotta get rid of stuff before I can. Marathon. Yeah, we've done that before. And then we did like once an hour would be some kind of special thing, like Wayne would spin the wheel and okay, you get this for free, or you marathon. Yeah, we got to figure. As long as I do layaway, I don't mind doing layaway, even regular. The only thing with the layaway is two things. One, three things. One, you do not get the discount because that's part of the reason why you get discounts because you pay right away. That's one. Two, you have to make a payment right away. I don't care if it's a $5 payment, as long as some kind of payment is made. Three, it has to be payments made once a month and paid off within a reasonable amount of time. I have invoices open that people are making payments on that go back to the end of 2024, the beginning of 2025. That's a really long time to stretch out an invoice, which is why we've kind of capped it. Um, And, you know, it makes it real hard when I have to contact them and then I get just no response. That's not really fair to me because if, you know, their pieces are sitting here, something gets broken, who loses the money? Me. You know, and their boxes are usually underneath everybody else's because I'm not working with them a lot. So, you know, it's not really fair. All right, this is our God Loves a Happy Camper. Yeah, but I will do layaway on anything. I don't have a problem on that. If you tell me, hey, can you make it partial pay? I'll make it partial pay. I don't care. You know, I have somebody who does it all the time. Hey, flip it as partial pay. I'm going to use two different cards to pay. Okay. She pays part of it with one card, pays part of it with the other. Okay. And for anybody who doesn't know how the partial pay works, when you click on the pay button, if it's on partial pay, there'll be a thing that says partial pay. And you click that, and it'll ask you how much you want to pay and then how you're going to pay it. And that's, you know, it's very simple, but you have to tell me because I don't always put partial pay. You know, normally I put it so that the whole thing has to be paid at once. But if you tell me, yeah, I can do that. You know, we used to do it all the time for everybody, but then it got to, um, you know, sometimes people know how to work the system. Let's put it that way. All right. We have Miss Deb, Miss Melanie, and Miss Marilyn. And that is for our 061, our bride, which we only have one of. We can go back. Go back. Go back. All right, this is for our bride. All right. And our bride is going to Melanie. All right. I do have two of our happy camper pieces. Now this one is one I think I have like four of. The one I just showed, that's our God Loves a Happy Camper. You are so welcome. Okay. All right, this one, 524352. Okay. This is what the world needs now. Okay. Original cost in this is 50. This one is first year production, currently valued at 83. We do it for 10, and I know I have 4, but wrong marker. This is our what the world needs now. And it is 524352. Okay. Marlene, you did get that last one. All right. Start off. All right. Next one up. This is, I have 2 of this one. I wonder if the other one is wrapped the same way. Okay, this is our shoot for the stars you'll never strike out. And I have at least 2 of this. This is 521701. Okay. This is our shoot for the stars you'll never strike out. This is a first year of production. Current value is sitting at 75. It was originally 60. We do it for 10. 521701. Okay. Wow. The they had a dryer sheet in there. Whew. Hey, Carol, how are you, sweetheart? How's your husband doing? I was thinking about you. I wanted to message you and see. Lydia, honey, I think you have that piece. All right. Okay, this next one up is 5210. All right, this next one up is Our First Christmas Together. Now this one is a little bit more based on, I don't get it very much. I don't know that they do. Okay, here's the reason why. The Boys and Girls Club was Gene Friedman's like special charity thing that he did. Okay, got my fingers crossed for you. You're in my prayers, son. And Gene Friedman, they kept doing it when UNESCO, because Gene Friedman was the chairman of UNESCO. So when UNESCO was still doing Precious Moments, they did. But now, obviously, that's years ago since he passed, and Precious Moments took it over. I think they stopped making them. Now it's gone back to UNESCO, so I don't know if it's something they will get back into or not. Whenever they did these pieces, they were always done based on, proceeds went to those charities. It wasn't like we just got this piece because of the Boys and Girls Club. It was more because they were donating to the charities. That was their way of doing it. So much of the proceeds went to the charitable organizations. St. Jude, Boys and Girls Club was huge. St. Jude's, breast cancer awareness, Easter seals, all of those fun things. All right, this one is Our First Christmas Together. He got her a hat, she got him a fishing pole. Original cost in this is 50, currently valued at 74. A little bit of a bigger piece, and we don't get this one too much. So we have it for 15. It is 115290. Okay. I'm not sure what charities they're doing. Put up big condos. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they were doing I like a lot of the pieces. I love they're it's just I don't know. as of now what they're doing. I will tell you this. Um, if I can get over the next few weeks things back on track as far as I need to pay some people off completely so they're taken care of and it's cleared up, I am going to try and contact Anesco and see if I still have the opportunity that I can become a retailer again. Um, it's Lydia. I'm putting you down for that piece, but I am going to check for you. Um, I really would like to get to where I can do it again, but you guys know there was a whole. I kind of got. I kind of got knocked because of association, so I want to see if if there is that option that because if there's something that can be done for me so that I can become a retailer again. I don't know if it's a possibility, but and I've been thinking about it more and more. I'd really like that. You guys know I loved being a retailer. I loved going to the events. I loved going to their shows and being able to, hey guys, this is what's coming out. That's always the bummer. It's like because I've done that when when I was more collecting, I really was like focused on just me, and I'd go and find them, and then I'd be like, oh my god, and I'd start digging through, and it'd be like, oh, I have this, oh, I have that. It's like, oh, there's not a single one here that I, yeah, but I'm gonna see because technically I'm not banned from Precious Moments. It was just all by association, and I really would like to try. Uh, yeah, but again, I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row and make sure, I don't have any problems anywhere because, you know, it's amazing what people will threaten you because they know since I'm a reseller, I'm not a retail. Since the beginning of the year, because actually the end of last year, because this all happened by association, and I literally had nothing to do with this. I was just caught in the middle because my name, okay, and literally that's it. And I'm not saying bad on anybody. I know, the story and where everything went. Unfortunately, that's why I'm not showing any of the new stuff. That's why I'm not doing, hey, promoting it is because unfortunately I was caught in the crosshairs of something that had absolutely nothing to do with me and cost me. I mean, that was close to half of my business, so it cost me a great deal. Um, so again, I'm trying to see what I can do because it would be nice to be able to bring both things to you guys. All right, we have Laura, Marianne, and Melanie in for the last one. All right, there's Melanie, there's Laura. Marianne. Okay, our last one. I'm going to pick for the last one before I show the next one. We have one is going to Miss Marianne, and one is going to Miss Melanie. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had somebody, threaten that if I tried to get back into it, you are so welcome. They were gonna go out and blast me on Facebook, and I don't know why. I don't affect their lives. 455-814. It's not like they're a retailer or anything. It affects them in any way possible. But honestly, I will tell you this. I've had people since I've started selling Precious Moments um tell me that I don't properly represent the organization. No, they are not associated with precious moments in any way. But um, I was not I'm not professional enough. And I'm like, you know what? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? And I've told them right up, precious moments is not selling to, everybody that's buying them is not your executive in some kind of corporate 500 company. I have been to more people who are like me than people who are like them. And I will never claim to be that. I am a, blue collar girl. I've worked warehouse jobs, and I worked from everything from running a cash register at a grocery store to, running machines in a warehouse on a night schedule. This is wishing you a yummy Christmas. Original cost in this is 30. This one is valued at 43. This is the highest value one, I believe. Yeah, this is the highest value one. And I'm not embarrassed or ashamed by that. That's who I am. My dad was blue collar. My mom was blue collar. You know, I put food on the table for my kids. I pay for my bills, and that's all I can ask for. I get to go now. I get to go travel places with my husband. That's it. Not, I'm not real. Uh, I'm not gonna apologize for who I am, and I'm not gonna pretend something I'm not. So yeah, but there have been, you'd be amazed. You would literally be amazed at the things people threaten. As a seller on here, uh, obviously my reputation means a lot. And people can say what they want, truthful or not. And I've had people, and this has happened more than once, I have people literally threaten me that we're going to put this posted all over Facebook. Well, people don't investigate things. So if they see a comment, a negative comment, that's what they remember. My husband always tells me, you could do 100 nice things for somebody, but as soon as something negative comes, that's all they remember you is the negative. So, I have, you know, this so somebody once said that like people buying are just mean, and to be honest with you, I can't argue with them. It can get really mean. People think that you rig something. People think that you owe them for some reason, or that something didn't work out the way they liked, and it's your fault. It's just crazy. All right, this is Our Life Can Be a Jungle. This is a limited edition piece. Okay, there are some of these that have two monkeys. If you have a two monkey, please add $60 to the value. This one is currently valued at 45. It was only out for the 1 year. And this is our little Life Can Be a Jungle. It's a little one with the monkey on his back. Or as my husband would like to say, the Steve Irwin piece. Okay, Lydia, you did get our last one, so thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how much control sitting behind a screen unknown to anybody. It's That's the bad thing. The internet is awesome. I love the internet. I love being able to, watch stuff through the internet. I love being able to contact people or get information when, hey, are you looking for a certain restaurant, or you got to find a hotel? There's great things about the internet. But the sad thing is anybody behind a computer who is faceless can say whatever they want about you, and you have no way to, because if you come on and you argue about it and say, that's not me, I didn't do that, you're full of crap. No, people are like, well, they're awful defensive for somebody who didn't do it, or everybody's got something to say. So for me, it's real hurtful. And there are times I literally have broken down and cried because it's like I'm trying so hard to be completely transparent. But even something as simple as I made a mistake and I'm admitting it, and you're dragging me through the mud like I'm doing this to you on purpose when, mistakes happen. I again, I am the first one to say, I am not Jesus. I make mistakes every single day. It may be something stupid as the other day I put something in the dishwasher I shouldn't have and it melted. Or, everybody, or I had a car accident. Car accident's just that, a mistake. Somebody wasn't paying 100% attention. Something weird happened. It's a mistake. That's why, they're called accidents because it's not intentional. But yet, people have dragged me through the mud for that. And again, they only remember the bad thing. No, they don't remember, hey, you drove 90 miles to pick up a piece for them because they couldn't. You've been searching for this piece forever, but because they're a friend of yours or somebody who buys from you, you went out of your way and you did that for them. They don't remember that. Or, they remember, hey, you charged me $5 more than you did that one. Oh, you know what? I very rarely cry at a screen. It takes a lot. Like even my husband will say, I'll go hide in my bedroom and cry. I don't even cry in front of my husband. But it is very upsetting. It is very hurtful because I've been doing this now almost 13, 14 years. It's not like I just started doing this. And you can go on my page and see all the remarks and stuff, but people can say what they want to say and you have no way to fight it, and it's very hurtful. And what's bad is when people are doing it behind your back, or they contact, like if I contact somebody and say, I saw your collection, we're interested, people will see that we've contacted them. They will go behind our private message them and say, hey, don't buy from them, don't do this, don't do that. Well, buying from me is fine. You've got pay. Why do you have PayPal and Square? That's why, because they refund you if there's an issue. As far as selling to us, if I'm coming to you with cash, what seems to be the problem? I've never just like not if I went to buy something, didn't have the cash for them, or didn't, if they want it through Zelle or they want it through Venmo or however they want to work it. I literally had a lady, I brought her cash. She freaked out. She's like, oh my God, I've never had this much cash. It was only a couple $1,000s. She's like, I've never had this much cash. Do you have a check? And I'm like, no, I don't use checks because processing are different. And I don't want, something I forgot about goes through. And um, yeah, it's sad. It really is. And you can ask anybody who sells. I know because you guys, I know most of the sellers. I do. And you can ask any of them. It's just like it is what it is. And I will stand on that pedestal and be the first to say, I screwed up. I trusted somebody I shouldn't. I got burned. Or I misplaced the piece. I thought I put them in your box. Maybe I put them in somebody else's box. It happens. I'm the first one to admit it. I am not perfect. There are at least 100 of you to one of me. I'm always trying to play catch up, it seems like. I really do try. Doesn't seem like it. But whatever you say, no matter how you apologize, no matter what you do, it will come back and bite you. Somebody will have something to say. And it gets overwhelming at times. It really does. It gets, and I know it's not only me. I know I've talked to lots of other sellers. I've known a lot of these people before they even started selling. A lot of them bought from me. Okay. And I don't want to throw their names out because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Okay. But, as far as like, sellers, that's their business. But, there's several of them. And I'm going to be honest with you. People may think I have a thick skin. I do not. It affects me a lot more than people know. I just don't normally talk about it. Because why? It just gives people ammunition. It really does. And here's the sad thing. And I've done this and my husband yells at me because, I have literally taken money from my rent to pay somebody because I owed them and I'm trying to get them paid off. Okay, I'll pay my rent later. I'll do this. I literally put, all right, I'm gonna hold off the grocery store this week. We won't, do major shopping. I just get the bare necessities. Let me take care of this. Oh, I got to get this out. I got to do this. I know I'm waiting for so and so to pay. They promised me. I know it's been a week or so, but I'll contact them. But let me take money from this. And I've done that my whole life with this. It's not like, I'm not becoming a millionaire. Heck, I'm not even becoming a hundredaire. At this point, I just want to pay my bills. And it's pretty sad because everybody seems to think that, hey, you got all this coming in. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you don't know how many times. All right, we got to pick for 457. You do not know how many times people have after a fee. Oh, I need to cancel that. No problem. That's your right. If you have it, why would I not cancel it? That's ridiculous to me. And I know people who won't, but I think that's stupid. If made, hey, I didn't realize I had it. Okay, no big deal. But people cancel things. People, hey, came in broken. So, or people, hey, this, or I know I'm supposed to pay this, but this happened. I've canceled invoices with 100 pieces on it because they would drag it out and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. Now I have to go through all those pieces and figure out, are all these pieces in this box, or there's so many things that people just don't get. And I am not Melanie, Deb, and Lydia, and I am not going to get on a soap opera. I really don't want to do that. But I just want people to realize that sometimes comments can be really hurtful, and nobody in any way, shape, or form is trying to be hurtful here. I will honestly admit I made a mistake. And I know I make mistakes constantly. Um, that's beyond video. All right, we are gonna pick for our little jungle dude. Yeah. All the husbands just love me. Yeah, I've had so many people. I gotta hide this from my husband. I gotta do. No, wait a minute. Don't throw me under the bus with your husbands. All right. We're picking for our little jungle dude. One is going to Miss Debus, and one is going to Miss Melanie. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've had more husbands. I it's funny to me because it's like I don't hide. I never did hide from my husband, you know, what I was buying, and when I was buying like the majority of mine, I it would Yep. And I can pack those babies, Della. Which I would never lie to my husband about it. I could, because I do the house finances. He doesn't. But I would never lie to him because why? You know? I am like, I've worked my whole life when my kids were finally old enough that, you know, being that John and Nikki had such a huge age gap, it was kind of easy because once Nikki was out of school, it was like, oh, kids start buying from me now. And I did, but I never lied to him because I was like, you can't say a damn word. How many cars over the years? How many, stupid things did you? And he's like, yeah, it's your thing. Go ahead. You know, I've never told him no. And, there are times he looks at me and he's like, why? And I'm like, because it's not my collection and I need it. I want it. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. It, I don't understand why. What bothers me is, and this is God's honest truth, is that if you have a problem with me, contact me. Okay? That's fine. Why are you out there? I mean, that's just intentionally trying to be hurtful is beyond my comprehension. There are so many things that I could say that I know because I was a witness to it or in some way involved. Why? What purpose do I have? You know what? People have enough problems in their life. My opinions don't matter. It affects me and what I want to do if I decide I need to separate myself from somebody. This is our Angels We Have Heard on High. This is originally a $60 piece, currently valued at $96. We have it for 15. This is 521 or 524921. Sorry. Yeah, I don't understand that whole thing. You know, because somebody did something to you doesn't mean that they're going to do it to the next person. Maybe you think you were wronged when in reality there is your side, my side, and the gray in between. And, that's how it works. I will never, I will never get on here and badmouth anybody. Now, I may in a conversation with somebody one on one who has had a similar experience say, yeah, well, they did this to me, and that's different because I'm not putting it on Facebook. I'm talking to somebody else who had the similar experience. I will never get on here. I don't care. And believe me, there are people who done me wrong who I could say, hey, I'm not the social police. Don't care. Not my business. You know what? Everybody's made a mistake, and in their eyes, they might not see that they did a mistake. They may not understand it. And you know what? Then you separate yourself from those people. Then you avoid contact. You stay, your distance away because otherwise you're letting them take up real estate in your head. And there's not a lot of real estate up there to begin with that I'm going to worry about you taking it up. This is our In the Spotlight of His Grace. Original cost in this is $35. This is currently valued at $69. Now I will say out of all the little ballerina ones, um, we don't get these a lot. All right, this one is the first year production. Okay, and we have it for $5, of course. This is 520543. Okay. That is In the Spotlight of His Grace. Our last one did go to Miss Angela, our Angels We Have Heard on High.
You have cards for me?
I do. Give me 1 second. I can put this in the box. I didn't realize it was 4. All right, I'm going to try and do a few more pieces here, and then we are going to take a break for a little bit, but we are definitely coming back on.
I also didn't realize it was 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Did you hear from David?
Yeah, I did. He's okay.
Okay. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Can you empty the dishwasher real quick, and I will load it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's these cards. Oh, here. You didn't. All right. Just because Nikki's gonna enter this stuff in. Matter of fact, let me just pull for the last one. Does anybody? You've never seen that one? There are. In the spotlight is like there's Lord keep me on my toes. Lord, you turn my life around. In the spotlight of His grace, there are 4 different ballerinas in total. Yeah, I think it's 4. of the older ones, not the newer ones, because I think they have some new ones too. All right, I'm gonna pick for this one. Then I'm gonna take a break because I'm gonna do my dishes, make myself some fresh coffee, move around a little bit. I do have more pieces on the table. Carol B said, "Hey, Nikki." Nikki said, "Hey." Did anybody else want bonus bucks? I had Laura and Deb S. Making sure because she can put these in the system now. And I'm gonna make a bag for our last one. We have uh, Miss Deb, Miss Lydia, Miss Laura, Miss Melanie, and Miss Carol B. Deb, Lydia, Laura, Melanie, and Carol. Carol, you have to give me an update tomorrow when you go to the doctor. All right. We are picking from the spotlight of His Grace. We're going to be gone probably till around 6. This way I can get some dinner situated. All right. Our first one is going to Miss Deb S. And our second one is going to Miss Lydia. Was Lydia in there? Yeah, I'm just making sure. Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys, we will see you. We will be back here in a couple hours. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, listening to me. Oh, listening to me complain. But my husband should be home soon. I want to at least get dinner started, and I also want to hear about his training that starts tomorrow and all that fun stuff. So I hate having to wait until he's we're all off of feet and everything so that we can talk. So I like to get off when I know he's going to show up so I can see what's going on. But I will be back probably right around 6 o'clock.